Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today I'm going to be ranking all of the brand new Funko Pops from the show The Boys, which is an Amazon exclusive show, and the Pops that they've revealed for this are just amazing. They've really blown me away, and there's 10 of them that I will be going over in this video. And if you don't know how my ranking videos work here, I'm going to go over each Pop and give each one a score out of 5. Then at the end of the video, it will be out of a total score of 50, and then we'll convert that over to a percent mark, and I will also let you know my want list for the wave as well. And if you do go on to enjoy the video, be sure to leave it a like down below as well, and also subscribe if you want to see more content. And also keep in mind, this is all my personal opinion as well, so nothing that I'm saying is objective. Of course, it's all just my subjective opinion. And let's get straight into it here with number 10. Alright, so here we have Translucent, and this one is going to wind up being clear when it actually releases, but just for the concept art sort of glam shot here, you can actually see the outline of the character, of course. But I think this one, it's just a little bit more basic. Without giving away any spoilers, I don't feel like the character, I don't know, was that compelling to me, and I didn't really have much of a connection with them. So that's why this one's a little bit lower on the list here, and I just feel like it's a very simple design. He's kind of just in a standard, jumper suit almost. And then, of course, the rest of his body is going to be translucent, hence the name. So for this one, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5, and now let's move on to number 9. Okay, so here we have Starlight in her bodysuit here. This one is an Amazon exclusive, and for this one, I put it lower on the list because we have another version of Starlight later on in the list, so I just felt like it wasn't super necessary to put this one higher up because it's just a very similar figure, of course, or design here. Of course, this is her suit that I think she gets once she actually joins the actual team in the show, so it's kind of the more provocative kind of look for her, but I think it still looks good here, and I do like the design of it, especially with the gold highlights going on. Her hair looks really fantastic as well. I think they really nailed the molding on that. Funko is very good at making the hair look really great, so definitely a cool design on this one. The boots as well kind of remind me of the Flash's boots a little bit, and the gloves a little bit like Doctor Strange, but for this one, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5, and now let's move on to number 8. Alright, so here we have Huey, and I really like his character in the show. I think he's very relatable. Of course, he's the character who kind of keeps the show a little bit more grounded because he's just an average guy. I like how they gave him the little detonator switch right there. I won't say how that kind of plays into it, but it's kind of a key item that he has in the show, and I think his hair looks great on this one. His outfit looks very casual, which really suits his character. So just overall a really great design here, and this one's going to get a 3.5 out of 5, and now let's move on to number 7. Okay, so here we have Billy Butcher, and this one is the common version of the character, and I think he looks pretty cool here. I feel like they chose a pretty good pose here with him holding the crowbar over his arm there. I think that that's kind of cool, or over his shoulder, I suppose. His expression there looks very much like Carl Urban, like how he kind of looks in the show, how he's just a little smug. He's a pretty confident character, even though he's going up against these super-powered, sort of heroes, but also mainly villains, so I think that that's kind of a cool design to work off of here. Of course, he has a more simplistic look here, but it's because he's not trying to get, recognized. He's not going to wear something super flashy like the heroes in the series, so for this one, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5, and now let's move on to number 6. Alright, so here we have A-Train, and he plays a pretty big role in the series, and with this one, I feel like they just went all out with the colors here. I haven't seen the show in a while, so I don't know how accurate the colors are going on here. I feel like they're a little bit brighter in the Funko Pop here than they are in the show, but nonetheless, I think it looks really cool. It definitely suits his sort of flashy celebrity personality. He wants a lot of attention, so of course he's going to dress in something that's going to get him that attention. And I think the goggles there look really great on him, or the glasses, I suppose, the sunglasses. And then his outfit overall is pretty cool. I like how he has the little satchel there, which is another important item there. I feel like they've really captured some pretty good accessories with these characters. And I like how you can see a little bit of, like, I don't know what that is, like the dust kind of coming up from him running so fast. So I think it's definitely a really great design here, and this one is going to earn a 4 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 5. Alright, here we have Billy Butcher. This one is the Bloody Hot Topic exclusive, and I put this one above A-Train and the other Billy Butcher because I feel like this one, just that little added blood, I feel like really adds to his character, because Billy Butcher doesn't mind getting his hands dirty, and I think this really kind of represents that. I feel like they maybe could have added a little bit more blood on his face, but I still think that it's a pretty accurate depiction here, and similar comments to the previous one, because it's the same molding going on here. It's really just the added blood, but I think that definitely takes it to the next level, and for this one I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 4. Okay, so here we have Homelander. This one is the levitating version, and I think he looks amazing. This is definitely a very iconic pose for Homelander, or just characters like him in general, like Superman, but he's just basking in the glory here, and I think he just really looks fantastic. It might have been cool to get a bit of a more angry expression from him, because he's definitely a character who's a little bit unhinged, but I suppose in the public eye, he kind of stays more calm. So I think it does still accurately depict him there, and I think his outfit just looks great. The textures on it look really intricate, and I do like that. It kind of reminds me of the Man of Steel suit from Superman. I think that it's kind of similar there with the amount of detail. Definitely looks like a US American hero here with that color scheme, and I think that really suits him very well. Nice hair sculpting also, so just overall a really good one, and this one is going to earn a 5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 3. Okay, so here we have Queen Maeve, and she looks fantastic here. I think they really accurately depicted her character here. I like how she has her arms crossed there. She kind of has a little bit of, like, I don't even know what you would call that, like a little added winking, I suppose, going on. This might be her, like, communicating with the public, maybe while she's near Homelander, because I think she feels a little bit uncomfortable around him, and that's kind of what I'm getting from this expression here. And I think she just looks really great. The hair on this one, similar to Starlight, I think they're just really good at molding that hair and making it look really nice. It almost looks like it's kind of flowing in the wind a little bit, and just overall her outfit looks really fantastic. I really like her character in the show. I feel like there's a lot to explore with her, so that might also be why this one's higher on the list for me. But for this one, of course, it's going to get a 5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 2. Alright, so here we have Homelander. This is just the standard one where he's not flying, but this one is above the other because I love the red laser eyes going on. I think it makes him look so much more menacing, and I really love that version of Homelander where he is just gone unhinged, he's just off the rails, crazy, and I think this really depicts that there. I like how he has his hands behind his back, because he knows he doesn't even need to use his fist to win a fight. He's just so powerful in general, and he knows that no one's probably going to try to fight him because he's just such a fearsome force. But I think that he just looks really great here. They definitely captured his character very well here in a fairly static pose as well, but I feel like that really captures him well also, because because sometimes he doesn't even need to act in that much of a dynamic way. He can just kind of stand there and impose fear onto someone. So for this one, it's going to get a 5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 1. Alright, so here we have Starlight, and for this one it has two versions. There's the common version, and then there is a glow chase version, of course. I don't really like to separate the chase versions unless they're a really big difference, and for this one, it being glow in the dark isn't really much of a difference. Of course, I would rather get the glow in the dark chase because that's just a cool thing, but just in general, I really love the pose of the character here, how she has both of her hands out. It kind of looks like she's about to unleash just a huge flash of light, and I think that's really cool. Her cape's kind of flying a little bit back there, which is nice to kind of see it in more of a dynamic pose going on. I really love how her hair is done here. I think it looks really fantastic, and just the color scheme of Starlight is really nice. I love the white and the gold together. It looks like a very classy and like simple look, but still very cool, and definitely her eyes here look fantastic. I really love the yellow in them. I think that looks really good. So just overall, it's a really well done pop here, and I'm looking at the previous one as well, the bodysuit one, and that one has the black eyes, and even I think a little bit of a different hair mold on it, because this one has a sort of like, I don't think you would, I guess it's like a headband going through it, so there's even those minor changes there, so I do think that's pretty cool, and I definitely think this is one of the best ones, or definitely the best one here, which is why it's at number 1, so I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 5, and now let's move on to my want list for the wave. Alright, so for my want list here, there are only 2 pops that I definitely want to pick up from this wave. I might wind up getting a few of the other ones if I wind up seeing them in person. Like, I know like ones like Queen Maeve, maybe Billy Butcher, the bloody version. I think those ones are kind of cool, but the main ones that I definitely want to get are Starlight and Homelander, and those two just look fantastic. I think they're just really well done. The sculpting on them is fantastic. I really love the unique eye color for both of them, with Homelander using his laser eyes, and then Starlight having the yellow eyes there because she's using her abilities. I just think it really captures them both very well in those moments. So just really well done lineup of pops here, and now let's move on to my final verdict for the wave. In conclusion here, for this wave, out of a score of 50, it managed to score 42, and that converts over to 84%, so I feel like that's a really good score here. There were a few of them that were kind of bogging it down, like having the 2 versions of Billy Butcher probably isn't super necessary. Translucent's a little bit more of a simple design, even though it is capturing his design very well. Just in general, even from the show, I'm not a huge fan of his character. I don't really have much of a connection to him. But you have to remember as well, this is all my personal opinion here. So now I want to hear your thoughts on this wave here. Let me know your rankings down below, and let me know what your favorite one is. Just in general, if you want to do either of those things, I would really appreciate it, because I really like comparing my list to other people's, just to kind of see where the differences are in opinion. And you can also justify your opinions as well in the comment section down below if you feel like typing a lot of stuff. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to stay tuned to my channel, I'm going to be making a ton of Toy Fair 2020 Funko reveal videos. There are so many pops that are being revealed, probably even as I'm speaking right now, but I hope you all enjoyed this video. I will see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.